Week 42, still no sign of Bon. Where may he be? So last week, there was a lot of complaining. Like, oh my god, there was a lot of complaining. Like, I just did not realize how many people were upset with King Arthur last week until I saw the comment section and everything on social media. I just did not realize, but oh my god, people were truly believing that Arthur killed Cusack and Chandler. And I'm just like, really? Like, come on now? Like, seriously, it was very obvious that the last chapter was just to build up Arthur and his potential for the future. I mean, seriously, it's common sense. I mean, yes, he's King Arthur, he's supposed to be strong too, on top of that, but it was very obvious that he was not going to be able to kill them. But, oh my god, just the amount of complaining that happened last week, I'm just like, chill. Like, this is a common thing that Nakaba-sensei does, actually. I mean, think about it. He does this quite often. I just don't know why people were freaking out so hard last week, saying that this series is Fairy Tail level, this series is Bleach level, stuff like that from the last chapter. I'm like, you guys need to chill. Like, King Arthur's overall build-up has been going on for a long time now, over 100 to 200 chapters now. I talked about it 2 weeks ago, so I just like, people need to learn how to chill. Whoa, that final page. So, yeah, Arthur just, stabbed himself. So, I want to point something out, okay? I want to make sure everybody's on the same page and can understand what I'm talking about. You remember what was said last week? You remember when we found the details on the Holy Sword? We found out that at the end of days, before the person that wields the Holy Sword, before they die, they basically kill themselves with the sword. They cover the sword with their own blood, and then it passes on to the next person. What happened in this chapter towards the end? Think about that. Just process that. Arthur covered the Holy Sword Excalibur in his own blood. Now, he didn't do this willingly, by the way. He didn't do it willingly. It's obvious that Cusack controlled him. I mean, his eye activated and all that. It's very obvious he controlled him. So, I'm just gonna say, if we're going by what has been stated already, like the characterization or the details on the Holy Sword Excalibur, then most likely Arthur is not dead, because there's definitely a link there. With that detail we got last week, with finding out that the person right before they die, they covered the sword with their own blood, and then we see that happen in this chapter, even though Arthur actually didn't willingly do it, he was being controlled by Cusack. Yeah, he's not dead. However, it's still crazy to see how strong Cusack is to be able to do something like that from that distance. Because right now, the Sins, they're really far away. They're not necessarily close to where, Zeldris, Cusack, Chandler, Meliodas are. They're not that close. So for him to actually have that level of control, to control, King Arthur's body and do what he did in this chapter, that's a scary ability. I do wonder if he can do that multiple times, multiple people all at once. I don't know if that's ever been shown. If it has, correct me in the comments below. But if you can do that to multiple people at once, that's pretty frightening. Cusack, Chandler, they were fine. And it is revealed that they were just wanting to test and see how strong the Holy Sword Excalibur really was. And the reason why is because they know how heroes can be. He wanted to see how the sword was. He's like, Arthur, you made two major mistakes. Number one, your mortal level is too low. You are too weak to be able to even do anything to me, Chandler, Zeldris, Meliodas. You're too weak. And that's kind of what he said. That was your first mistake. Your second mistake was the fact that we are higher level demons. And we don't really fear heroes. He's like, yes, it is true that demons do fear heroes, but that is the lower level demons. So it is clarified that demons do fear these heroes, human heroes, but not these high-grade demons like Cusack, Chandler, Meliodas, Zeldris. So that is something worthy of mentioning. Now, I do believe at the end of the day that King Arthur is going to be able to rival them in power if he manages to get his own strength, his own magic, and all of that unlocked. I do believe he's going to be able to be scary. But it does make sense why he was not able to do much, because even though he has a lot of strength with the sword, the same example could be said for Izuku from Boku no Hero Academia. You remember how I made that comparison last week, how I said that Izuku's stockpile, for One For All, and how it's built up over many generations, that's why, that power's so strong? Well, that's the exact same thing with the Holy Sword Excalibur, and its limitation is pretty similar to the limitation of One For All. Izuku may have all this power, 100% of what All Might has, and even stronger, be able to go all in and destroy things, but that doesn't automatically mean that he can use all that power and just obliterate any foe ahead of him. He just can't do that, because his body cannot take it. And that's kind of what Cusack was trying to say to King Arthur. You may have a holy sword. You may have this sword that is scary as hell, may have the scariest power, but the thing is if your body ain't that good to handle it, then it's not going to be worth anything at the end of the day. So that's kind of what happened there. Basically, Cusack's saying is, your sword may be scary, but you're not. Until you're scary, you're strong and beefcaked and all that, then we don't really care. So that was some nice details we got with this chapter. It does make sense. It does let us know that Arthur's just not OP right out the gate. He does need to unlock his potential. He needs to be able to use his magic and all that before he can be able to wield the sword properly, then fight. Then he will actually stand a chance. But for now, though, it's mainly showing what he could potentially do for the future if he gets a good grasp on his power. So let's talk about this image real quick. Let's talk about this scary image of seeing the shadows of the 4 demons in this chapter: Meliodas, Zeldris, Cusack, and Chandler. They're shadows. I'm assuming they're forms. Those are their true forms. They're Indra forms. As we know, Indra is a different transformation and all that for certain demons, high-level demons and stuff. And I'm going to assume that the shape of those forms are the forms that they could take if they want to go into Indra mode. So, yeah, once again, we have some more hints at what Meliodas' true form really looks like when you see that shadow in the back. It just like, that has popped up many times throughout the series. I think 2 to 3 times it's already popped up throughout Taizai. So it does show that once again, Nakaba has slowly been building up to Meliodas' true form and what he really is capable of when he gets actually serious. So Merlin, she manages to pop up in this chapter where Arthur is. And the reason how she's able to do this is thanks to Calf. Calf somehow manages to telepathically talk to Merlin and let Merlin know that Arthur is about to die. And then she realizes and she appears there like that. Now, I have a lot of questions about this. I think if there's anything people need to be, talking about is definitely that scene. Because when you think about it, Merlin's been trying to find the whereabouts of Arthur for a while now. She's been like, where's Arthur at? I need to find him. She even went out of her way to try to make a deal with Zeldris to try to figure out the whereabouts of Arthur. And now, obviously, she wasn't too worried. She realized if she can't find him, it's fine. But, I mean, even then, though, she has still been searching for him. And if she was able to, teleport like that straight to him, then why hasn't she done it before? My only question I have, or I guess what's going on there, most likely there's a limitation. Maybe the only way that Merlin could do that is if, Arthur is in danger. Maybe Calf has to do it and then call Merlin to come over there or something. I don't know, but I feel like the reason why Calf has been with Arthur this entire time is most likely thanks to Merlin. Merlin most likely has some form of role to play when it comes to Calf because of how he was able to talk with Merlin and to get Merlin there like that. So there's definitely a connection there, and it does make me wonder why Merlin didn't use this already to pop up and get Arthur. Anyways, let's talk about the relationship between Merlin and Arthur. So Arthur, obviously, he got wrecked, okay? This man got completely destroyed by Cusack like it was nothing, okay? And Merlin comes in, manages to grab Arthur, and she kind of gets out of there. Now, I did notice that little fan service scene, Nakaba. I saw that when you grabbed Arthur and you put Arthur's head right next to Merlin. You saw her opie kind of squish it a little bit. I saw that. I saw what you did there, okay? I'm not blind. I see you. That still doesn't change the fact that I don't believe that Merlin and Arthur are in that type of relationship. I do know that Nakaba is trying to make us think that. For him to even add the whole drama element with Escanor and Arthur, he wants us to think these emotions. But even then, though, I just still don't believe. If it happens, it happens, okay? You know what? I'm just going to say right now, if it does happen, Merlin is in love with Arthur, it happens. I'm not going to be angry. I'm just saying that from my perspective of looking at this chapter, once again, it does look like Merlin is acting like an older sister to a mother figure to Arthur, taking care of him, worrying about him, coming in to save the day. That's kind of what it looked like to me. Now, if am wrong, I am wrong, I will accept that. But that's what that scene looked like to me, and you can see that Escanor got a little bit upset in this chapter, like his face got a little bit moody and all of that, and it makes a lot of sense. I mean, he looks at Merlin quite a bit, he loves Merlin, and so if he sees the person he loves, around someone that, he doesn't feel is worthy enough for, obviously he's gonna get upset. So, I mean, makes sense, but I just feel like that entire scene, though, only reason why this is happening is because Nagumo wants a little bit of drama between Escanor and Arthur, and I do believe at the end of the day that Merlin's probably not in a relationship with Arthur, and it most likely is not going to really lead to anywhere. It's just going to be probably like a brother-sister relationship or a mother-son relationship. My 2 cents on the topic. So, I'm pretty much going to end there. It's a simple chapter of Taizai this week. I mean, I enjoyed it, but, I can see why some might not like it for certain scenes, but I did have fun reading it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this chapter, let me know. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like my video, please leave a like. And if you want to get notified for whenever I upload a video, please click the bell icon down below. So please be safe. Chibi out.